Josh and I, before we got married, discussed family devotions and decided that we would do it every morning, even if it was busy and we didn't think we had the time. We would set aside the time to keep God first in our life.
The time every morning we spend reading God's Word is very beneficial to our marriage and to the way we treat others in our life, and especially in business. Just really being able to have that focus of my number one goal is to honor God. Anything else comes second.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, March 20th, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I had an extremely busy weekend getting some information for y'all about Josh Duggar and Anna Duggar and everything that's going down in Seagoville, Texas. And in the middle of all of that, I learned all kinds of information about what's been happening with Anna, with Josh, and really just insight about how Josh Duggar is blabbing and talking and what he's sharing with people on the inside and how he's acting. Some of the information was kind of shocking because he allegedly has a love interest, and I got a lot more details about what happened with Josh with the phone and his job, getting fired from his job, and Anna. How Anna is involved in all of this. So I do apologize ahead of time for this being a voiceover. I know some of you are just so used to seeing my face all the time. I should be back this week. I have just been dealing with not feeling very well. I had a sinus infection, then I got some shots, and it's just been kind of messing with my whole funk. So please bear with me. I promise I'll be back soon. So Josh Duggar is currently sitting in the shoe, and I got contacted on Saturday by someone who has a loved one who's inside the same building as Josh. Now, I've had other loved ones that have people inside with Josh, but this loved one has someone that's relatively close to Josh and has gotten to know Josh. And so what they shared and what they revealed was kind of interesting. And on top of that, Josh is becoming kind of known in his in his area of not really following the etiquette within other inmates, and kind of blabbing and telling people things that he might want to consider keeping to himself for his own safety and protection. And so this is where we find ourselves today. There's been a lot of questions about Josh and what his full sentence was, and I got a lot more details on that. So we're going to dive into the full scope of what his sentence was, what he loses for his privileges, how did he get the phone, was it his phone, was Anna involved, did Anna know, and then we're also going to talk about this potential love interest that Josh has, how he treats Anna, and just some other details I've been given about Josh that might kind of surprise you and then probably won't. So let's dive into today's topic. Before we do, can you do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you've not yet subscribed by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure to turn on your notifications so you know when I go live and when new content loads. And if you have something to say, please leave a comment and share this video with your friends. Before I give you anything, I want to put out this disclaimer that obviously, because I cannot ask Josh for his side of the story, and because Anna has basically disappeared from the internet, there's no way for me to get in touch with them to verify if this is their side. And frankly, I don't think that they would tell me their side anyway. So make sure that you take this with a grain of salt and just, it's all alleged. But I think it's pretty consistent with what other outlets have posted. So just let's all remind ourselves that this is all alleged. Okay, so Josh Duggar, our initial date of finding out that he was in the shoe is off, because the source that I spoke to said that they believe that Josh was actually placed in the shoe in the middle of January, maybe around between January 11th and January 15th. And as a result, it was because he was found on a phone, and he was using the phone to allegedly like work on his appeal. I think that's what he told the guards, allegedly. And he would also use the phone to apparently speak with his wife, Anna, and other people. And so I asked the source, was Josh, like, did Josh buy the phone or was he using someone else's phone? And they said that Josh was using someone else's phone. So despite the fact that phones are actually illegal inside of the prisons, there is probably, I was told by the source, maybe anywhere from 100 to 200 phones in the facility at any given time, and they come in through guards. And so it's not like people are smuggling them in, guards bring them in and then they sell them. And they sell these like track phones, and so they're like $50 that you can buy through track phone, smart track, I think. And then they're Samsung Androids, and they mark them up to $2,200. So an inmate will pay anywhere from $2,200 to $2,500 for this phone. I had previously been told they're around $1,500, but this person said around $2,200. So it's middle of like January 11th or so, he's caught on the phone, and he is then placed in the SHU. And while he's in the SHU, he's been there since January 11th, and he's allegedly going to be getting out here in about a week and a half, I was told. Early April is what they believe. And that is because when he was sentenced, he received 75 days in the SHU. They took away 47 good time days. So he had some days that had already been taken away for other infractions. And so he had 47 days removed for that. But then after that, on top of that, once he's released, he cannot have commissary visits, phone, or email if he gets access to email. And they don't know if he has access to email. They're not sure that he does, but those are sort of like the standard disciplines. So he can't have visits, phone, email if he has access for it, or commissary for 6 months, starting the day he gets out. So that means that for the next 6 months, Anna cannot go visit him at the prison. He can't have any visitors. So he's losing his rights to see his loved ones. And he can't use the prison phones, so he can't have any contact with them, so he's sort of out of luck there. Now, because he was renting a phone, I kind of asked for clarification from this, and I guess there's people that buy multiple phones and then they have like little side hustles inside the prison, and then they rent the phones for like an hour or a day or whatever so someone can use it. And they said that Josh was renting somebody else's phone, and then the phone was confiscated, and as a result, Josh will owe someone that money because they lost the phone that person bought, and now that person's like out $2,200, and Josh lost the phone for them, even though it's illegal. And Josh is going to be expected to pay that money back. So he did not have the money, I was told, allegedly, to actually buy his own phone, so that's why he had to rely on renting someone else's phone. Okay, so now that we know more about the details with the SHU, as far as like, did Anna know that he had the phone or that he was using a phone? I was told that she allegedly did know because people saw Josh speaking to Anna on a phone that wasn't a prison phone, and that Josh would frequently contact Anna through these phones. And so Anna may not have initially known that these phones are not legal in the prison systems, but over time she became aware and allegedly continued to speak with him through this phone. It's hard because Anna's supposed to be the one that's going to be guiding him when he gets out, and she was like praised to the court as someone that will keep him on the straight and narrow. And yet, even behind bars, like, Josh gets a phone and she utilizes that as a benefit, knowing that it's not legal, right? So obviously, there's that aspect of it. And then Josh is kind of in a situation right now where his behavior inside has let some people feel a little bit less than content with who he is. He's apparently walked into the situation, according to the source, of being kind of arrogant, I know, shocking, and really believes that he's kind of a celebrity, even though we know that he's notorious and infamous. In Josh's mind, there's no one more famous. I know. So he thinks he's a big deal, and he thinks like people should treat him like a big deal, I was told, allegedly. And he hasn't been following a lot of the same rules. Like there's etiquette as far as like seniority and how things are done inside that are not on the outside. Like you don't do things the same way on the inside. You have to kind of follow the rules to stay in line with the other prisoners. And it's a world I don't understand. But as far as I'm told, he doesn't follow a lot of those rules. And so he ends up making people really mad. Like one of the things they shared was that they had heard that Josh's hygiene was a big problem for a long time and that he was kind of messy. And apparently in these units, they're expected to keep everything very clean. And Josh's lack of hygiene, which causes, people to like be displeased with how he smells. And then on top of his lack of hygiene, he's messy and doesn't seem to care about like keeping things clean, has led to disagreements, I guess, with him and some of his friends inside. And obviously this is alleged. So Josh, did you see Josh's actual office? He's a slob. And we know that Josh didn't have to ever clean because Anna was the one that cleaned for him. So he's just going to be a slob and he's not going to care. And he had to learn real quick that you can't be a slob there if you're going to make friends with people and not get hurt. I did ask whether or not has Josh gotten into any fights with anyone. And they did say that there's been some incidences where he's had to have talking tos and he's had some very strong words and maybe a little bit like roughed up, but not actual like physical hurting him. So he kind of understands that he isn't the boss. People are, I guess, having trouble with him, thinking that he's more important than he is. And this facility is filled with people that I guess have, white collar crimes and are very wealthy and have a lot more power than Josh. And so he's not really on the scale anyone that's all that important. They have someone from Sesame Street there, I guess, and they have a former congressman, and they might be getting R. Kelly. That's like the rumor that's going around there. So Josh is in building 6 apparently, and in building 6 he's not making a lot of friends. Now another thing that I was told is that things between Josh and Anna are also getting a little bit icy. And I'll be probably doing a different video on this to go in a little bit more detail about where Anna's at right now. But the way that Josh speaks to her when he's like on the phone and like when he talks about her to other friends there, like they apparently don't really enjoy that. They don't like the fact that he's rude about her, crass. He speaks about her in a very derogatory way, allegedly. And there's like code in there, right? And so for some of these guys, the code is that you don't disrespect women, you don't do things to kids. And so he's already on the low end of the totem pole because he's done something to children, and then he's mistreating a woman. And so some of the guys there just don't like that. And so again, his attitude towards Anna has been an issue for some of the people there, allegedly. And I asked for examples, and they just said that he's allegedly very short with her, very condescending. And he told someone, or maybe it was a group of guys, I don't know, that Josh said that he doesn't think he allegedly said that he doesn't believe Anna will ever leave him because she can't, because of their faith, and because he's Josh Duggar. He believes that he is that important that she'll never leave him because he's famous in his own mind. Okay. And I know that we're talking about him on this channel, and I would classify him as infamous. Anyways, so he thinks that he can treat Anna whatever way he wants because she can't leave him. Okay. Well, apparently Anna's getting a little bit burnt out by that, which I'll talk to you about in another video. But she's been not sending as much money to him via commissary, and he's had to rely on some of the guys in the Bible study. You guys, I can't even. He's apparently been allegedly like singing sob stories about how he just doesn't have as much support as he used to. And, he sort of like manipulates people to get like extra commissary from some of the older guys in the Bible class. Josh also allegedly tried to take over the Bible class and got into a fight with the guy that has led the Bible class for like a really long time, and that did not go over well. So he's trying to assert his power and his influence everywhere, and no one wants anything to do with it. Like, there's apparently this older guy that's been running the Bible study for years, and they were like allegedly done with Josh trying to take over. So he's trying to manipulate people allegedly for commissary. He's using illegal phones. He's disrespecting Anna. He's not making friends, is all I'm trying to say. And then on top of that, Josh has allegedly found a love interest. Now, I have to say that this is alleged because no one has actually seen, that I've talked to, anything happen between Josh and this person, okay? But they have said that Josh and this person, who happens to be a transgender inmate, they allegedly met through church. So there's like a church that they can go to, and, you know, through their church meetings and their church services, he meets this transgender female there. Now, I did ask about why a transgender female would be there, and they said that they apparently don't house a transgender female in a women's facility until she's had the full transitional surgery. And as long as they have their, like, if they haven't gone through the bottom portion of the surgery yet, they remain in the housing with men. They can file a request to be changed into a different facility, and it's like they're moved on a case-by-case basis. And you would have to go through like the laws for BOP. I know there's been a lot of discussion about how this is handled, and a lot of lawmakers are trying to improve this for the transgender inmates, but that's kind of where it was at, where I was kind of confused by that. But there's apparently a number of transgender females in this facility that haven't gone through all of the surgeries at this point. And Josh happens to meet female, and she is not there for the kinds of crimes that Josh is, and also is apparently Josh and this person have gotten very close. And so I asked the person, like, how would your loved one know that Josh is like interested? And they said because Josh and this person have been spending a lot of time together right before he was going into the SHU, and it started around November, and they were sort of like caught. He was caught in the building of this person 3 separate times, I guess, like, and then she was caught in his building multiple times. And it's now at a point where she tried to move to building 6. Apparently, they said she was on a wait list. They had approved it, but then they found out that Josh and her were sort of having, like, they were getting too close. And so her request to move into his building was denied. And now he can't go into her building, and she can't go into his building. That's sort of the allegation. But while no one's actually seen them be physical, because you really can't, like, if you do things in public, you'll get, like, you just can't. You can get in trouble. There's all kinds of rules about engaging in that kind of activity. It happens all the time, but the inmates have to do it out of the watch of guards. And so no one's seen it, but they said that there's just, like, you can tell that there's something there, and that Josh was allegedly calling this person through the phone that he was renting, and that this person has been coming to try to get messages to Josh while he's been in the SHU, and has been asking if Josh is okay. So, yeah, take this for a grain of salt. Apparently in for drug charges, and Josh has found this person and is like, I feel sad because they're being, like, Josh is just a creep, and I'm sure he finds this person as probably perceives them to be weaker, because transgender inmates are not treated as well in the facility, and they're at higher risk for getting harmed. And so he's not making it a secret that this is, like, going on, and because people have noticed the two of them together and spending so much time together, it doesn't seem like it's a friendship. That's all I'm saying. And, like, they don't really know if Anna knows about it or not. They don't know if anything physical happens, but he definitely has someone he seems to be interested in, allegedly. And this person also seems to be allegedly interested in them. And they've been caught in each other's buildings, and they can't be in the same buildings anymore. Allegedly. So Josh is not apparently wasting any time trying to figure out what he's going to do. I did ask like how frequently someone in the facility might, like they have these different sayings that like some people will get so lonely that they will like, if they're heterosexual, for instance, they don't care while they're in prison. They need to find to keep them occupied. And they said that it does happen, but it's not as common as you would think. Like they said that there's like probably 200 transgender inmates. There's probably 200 gay inmates because the facility is a secured yard. So there's a lot of individuals in the facility that are like sensitive to retaliation. If they were at a less secured yard, would be at risk of getting hurt. And so they're all kind of there at this facility along with the SOs because those are also a protected category. So you have all these different categories of people that need extra protection that are at this facility together. And then they said there's usually about like a couple hundred guys that are straight on the outside but are lonely and will just do whatever while they're on the inside. So they don't really know where Josh fits into that, but they said that Josh just seems like a complete and utter creep. They allege that he's known to be kind of crass about women, say pretty crass things, and now he has this person that he allegedly likes, and they happen to be transgender, which is, I guess, kind of shocking given that Josh's family is so anti-LGBTQ plus and is, if you remember back in 2015, Michelle did a robocall where she literally called transgender people predators. And Josh was part of the FRC action, and he did speeches about traditional marriage and marriage between one man, one woman. He has been outspoken about people that are gay, and the family has made transphobic comments. I mean, literally almost all of them have. So it's just like shocking in that respect. I want to put a caveat out there that to me, like, I don't care. Any person who, whether they're gay or straight or transgender, it shouldn't matter to us, like, what Josh does in that respect. To me, someone who's transgender is equally as capable of being loved and deserving of love. And if someone wants to be in a relationship with them, that's fine. And I wish for everyone that they have love. So to me, like, I'm not concerned about that. It's just because of Josh's family that it's so shocking. And it's hard to like wrap your mind around that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I also worry that this person that Josh is interested in is not fully aware of who Josh is. And so I hope for their safety that they don't go too deeply with him because Josh is kind of a creep, and that's putting it mildly. So people have sort of described Josh's behavior towards other inmates that he thinks are beneath him as sort of predatory. And so there was that concern as well. Like, they feel like the person that Josh is sort of going after allegedly is vulnerable, and Josh is sort of using that to his advantage. So that's the love interest, allegedly. He is supposed to get out of the shoe soon, and so we'll see if that continues. And Anna, does she know? They don't know. Josh is pretty good at compartmentalizing. And the person I talked to said that Anna just is she can't have an opinion. She doesn't get to say anything. She doesn't get to push back. She has to do whatever Josh says, even while he's in prison. So what I hope is that he doesn't go back to use the phone, but I'm sure he'll have access to it because there's so many damn phones in the facility. And I hope that this gives Anna like the want to not talk to him, right? Like, I hope she doesn't want to take calls from him, but I doubt that that's going to happen. So Anna knew allegedly that he was on the phone, and he spoke to him while he was using the phone. So does that make her complicit? I think so. I think Anna is complicit to all of this. I think Anna should think about leaving. And I think the family members that I speak to that have knowledge of, Anna and Josh, They all say really nice things about Anna, and they feel badly for her because Josh just allegedly treats her so poorly. And I mean, there are even prisoners, I guess, that know Josh that are literally rooting for Anna to divorce him. Like they think that Anna needs to leave him. So when other inmates want the wife to leave, you know it's bad. So Josh's alleged love interest, Josh is in trouble for the phone. Oh, and finally, he apparently got fired from his job. I think the Ashley Reality Roundup reported this a couple of months ago. And the reason why he was fired, they said, was because of his alleged arrogant attitude, and he was working in the library. And they verified that as well with me, or they shared the same story. So apparently it's not an unknown secret that Josh had a job and he lost it. And he's relying on his parents to pay for his commissary, which we'll get into in another video. So tell me what your thoughts are about all of this. Are you surprised or not surprised? Do you believe it or do you not believe it? And what are your thoughts? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.